Before watching any anime, I tend to give it a prediction of what I think it will be, which, more times than not, comes out pretty damn accurate. As once you've seen enough anime, a title, poster image, a PV, it can tell you everything you need to know, which usually means it's trash and just another rehash of the same thing we've seen already, most likely 100 times over before. Demon School is unique. It's fresh, it's exciting, and it's hilarious. But truth be told, I thought with a name such as this, we'd have a kid moving into a home with a bunch of demon girls who would all join his harem, and the main character would piss me off. What I actually watched was this loving demon family relationship with a unique quirk for our main human character. Actually, the only human character in this series, which that was a relieving feeling. That my prediction was completely off, which meant binging this show, it felt like a drug addiction. The premise for this anime is wholesomely adorable while being sort of twisted all in the process. A kid gets sold to demons by shitty parents who worked him to the bone, and because he can't say no to anything, he always just smiled away, even being shipped off. His buyer happens to be this older demon who just wanted a grandson, so now our main character, Irma, goes to demon school while hiding the fact that he is a human while having a loving family in the way of a demon grandfather. I can definitely say I did not see this coming, but the reason I found it to be so fresh and amusing is the quirk they give to our central character, which I like to describe as being a series of unfortunate events not being also terrible. That quirk makes this anime. Basically, everything bad that could happen to Irma will happen at some point, but because of either him tripping, which in result makes it look like a wrestling move, taking out the challenging opponent, which then makes him a devoted follower, reading ancient texts that are far too taboo because you didn't know any better, making you the most dangerous man in school on your very first day, or hell, summoning your teacher as your familiar, which forces him into a year-long pack with you after hating your guts and now can't disobey you whatsoever. Everything revolving around his life starts off at the worst case scenario, but quickly ends up making him look like a badass, making every demon think he is the king of the castle, and it never got old. For a while, I wasn't really understanding what I loved about this anime. I knew it felt fun, but I couldn't put my finger on what exactly was tickling my fancy until around the episode 7 or 8 area, where it completely clicked. This is an anime being as anime as they come, but without any of the baggage. They designed Irma to be a pushover, but always would end up the alpha in any situation despite being this nice kid who just wanted to go home despite realizing his home is the true hell and he probably wants to stay with his new grandpa. Having a single human character surrounded by demons whose anthem at their school discusses eating humans while most don't even believe they exist has numerous possibilities to create engaging hooks to leave the viewer laughing or feeling this wave of wholesome aura flowing our way. There's plenty of female demons who naturally get googly eyes for our main character, but the fact that the school as a whole basically thinks he is king, it lets every situation never fall victim into becoming a trope we roll our eyes at. It either will feel sweet or funny, and that's brilliant. Settings play a crucial role in how exciting a story will be, and while a demon school it really isn't all that new and original, pushing a single human character into one while letting him gain the support of pretty much anyone with some unfortunate timing allows for something at face value that may appear pretty generic to actually turn into something very unique. The number of times I caught up to all the episodes out and felt this disappointment that was unlike no other was both a terrific and horrible feeling. I always was craving more, but there was never enough episodes to truly satisfy my hunger, which is a great thing as leaving the viewers craving more is much better than the alternative of feeling like we consumed far too much, which then in result leaves a very sour taste in our mouth. While I expected to enjoy Irma's antics, somehow making his life better all in the process of feeling like a fish out of water, I didn't expect to enjoy the characters as a whole as much as I did, especially one specific character, Clara. You have to understand I almost always hate characters like her, these overly hyper-energetic bouncy ones that remind me of kids that need to be put on Ritalin. But with a single episode, I loved her addition to this cast of characters. The reason I appreciate her entry to this world and cast of characters overall is that even though she may remain bouncy and far too energized for her own good, the characters surrounding her help to bring a balance to this sugar high of a character. Like with most of the people in this show, despite appearing to be demonic beasts, they all feel pretty human with their emotions. Fear, dreams, all the basics we see in each and every one of us. This girl who no one wants to associate with, and those who do simply use her for her ability to create anything from thin air, feels the need to bribe people to be around her so she doesn't feel lonely. Unless you're Irma, that is, who simply acknowledges her quirks, which in return lets her stop trying so hard and just embraces who she is. Does this mean she still bounces off the walls? Yes. But surrounded by boring characters in comparison to her, she doesn't feel like this dominating energy like at the start of her introduction, as now characters aren't running away from her but rather holding the spotlight alongside her. See, so many anime make the mistake of a single personality holding a scene together, which can turn us away should we dislike the gimmick at hand. But seen here, once a character gets rolling and comes to know our central lead, all the personalities blend together to create one wholesomely hilarious spectacle. One of my favorite reasons for this being set in a demon school, despite most of the characters feeling quite human, is we get situations surrounding the human world that are so normal but appear to be so mysterious. Take the student council president as an example. She has this secret chamber full of mystery texts that she believes link up to these so-called humans, and this new kid has to be one of them. It's directed so serious as if, damn Irma, he's definitely screwed now. Cat's out of the bag, and then you see it's some romance manga she doesn't know how to read but loves the pictures, so it becomes this reading time with the two over the weeks. A simple manga becomes something demons fear or get aroused by, not truly understanding how vanilla it actually is. The blend of normal meets demon created this everlasting amusement park ride that whether we focus on Irma being a nice guy, helping someone or something, or we watch others try to bring him down, which never really worked out and somehow he was always the alpha despite being so innocent, let a series that should normally feel like a generic high school harem become one of the most hilarious but also charming shows in recent memory. Nothing about this, it tries to grab your attention in the typical sense. They don't throw skanky fan service to make you see a character and make sure you keep focusing on them. They don't use flash and spectacle to keep the visuals engaging to look at. And the characters don't simply stay as anime gimmicks, but rather evolve as a person should. Take Alice as an example. They introduce him as this egotistical hotshot who gets wrecked by a series of events out of her main character's control, to then become a devoted follower and eventual friend to this man. That hotshot nature then becomes devoted loyalty to sticking up for his friend, a term demons didn't know about until his arrival. When a character like this pops up, they easily could go the route of keeping seductive shots as the priority, but rather gave charming twists about someone curious about romance and love despite it being a mystery to a demon. And someone like this could easily be the best in the world, damn everyone else, but when you save his life by being a decent guy to a creature of the valley, he becomes your rival instead. The key to this story's success is that it's built on simplicity, never going overboard, not making it something too complex, but having just enough depth to feel engaging. Each episode honestly feels standalone, as if you could turn on the TV randomly, catch an episode, and never be lost. They always catch the viewers up while not repeating ideas in the process. This is simply a story about a human kid gaining demon friends while hiding his true colors, else face the dinner table. Each relationship formed either carries over to the following episode or feels concluded and wrapped up in that installment. It's great to have a deep stories and heavy narratives, but often school series make the mistake of either being too basic or trying far too hard for the setting they're in. Here the narrative is exciting. Kid sold off by his parents to demons, and with each week or episode, you see a new obstacle that will most likely result in something funny or wholesome happening, with the potential of serious every so often. That allows for this anime to not take itself too seriously, not hold itself down by pointless guidelines, but just embrace the anime medium with all of its absurdity into a surprisingly unique setting, focusing around a school, which, damn, if that isn't saying a lot, a school setting that feels unique. Bandai Namco Pictures, for the most part ignoring, well, Gintama, does a lot of cutesy and children-friendly content, so it's not surprising to see how cheerful this demon anime looks, and I'm not complaining. A big reason I even gave the show a chance, after seeing it gaining some buzz pretty early on into the fall 2019 anime season, was it was cute and visually appealing with its sharp character designs and bright, snappy colors. With the style of anime this is, it never really feels that dark even when presenting troubled characters, so it has this cheerful aesthetic despite being sucked down to hell surrounding demons. It contrasts exactly what your brain has come to understand about the setting and creatures in question from most tales, and lets you easily accept this absurdity like you never knew any different. Humans have a bad habit of expecting things to feel or be a certain way, as that's how it's always been, so that's how it should continue to be. So had this story been to what most associate demons to be, then this cute approach with humanity applied to demons would be like looking at Satan pulled from a biblical story as we watch characters discuss romance manga. It would be jarring as hell while I guess kinda being hilarious all in the process. The constant shifting of colors and styles, it let this ever-changing mindset of Irma feel just as wild from our point of view, allowing for everyone to feel like that fish out of water, making us feel bad for a little demon in training. This is the kind of anime I miss having more of. Either I get a great story that's really mature, or I have fun absurdity, but there's a style of anime that I love to see more of. It's simply fun, doesn't try to do too much of one thing, while making sure that all the bases that it does bring up are properly covered. This story is held together by fun visuals and equally memorable characters. I can't think of a single character, be it nameless face to important role, that felt disposable. Even if for a random gag, as you saw silly faces in the background, it added on to the moment at hand. Putting this much attention into your cast lets the setting flourish, and because the story is linked by a kid questioning, does he want to stay with demons or does he want to go home to monsters, and who will fill the Demon King's role, all that you focus on is the simplistic moments at hand, and simplicity is not a bad thing. So many think simple equals negative, but those simple moments can be some of the most memorable as seen here. You have a good endgame hook. We won't forget that, as it's not too complex while being interesting enough to bring up every so often, as either Demon Grandpa will bat those eyes about his loving grandson, or some demon will want to be king. So, by keeping the focus on the basic moments of the day surrounded by amusing characters who more often than not will be a person despite, well, being a demon, is simply amazing. There's very few anime in recent memory that I couldn't wait to binge it when it was over, but I also couldn't watch it weekly. So usually that meant I'd wait 3 to 4 weeks, binge it, and then be mad at myself as I questioned, well, maybe I should follow this weekly, while recognizing I'd just be pulling my hair out should I subject myself to that torture. This is as anime as it comes, while also feeling like something I might have watched when I was younger among other great cartoons of my youth. I think it has a little bit of everything for everyone without any real baggage. And if you watch enough anime, you know what type of baggage I'm referring to. It has none of that, or at least so I think. They could keep making this anime for as long as they want to, and from everything that I've seen thus far, I don't have a limit. Keep making it, and I'm gonna keep on watching it, and I rarely say that. But then again, that's just my opinion on a little anime about a demon school and how some unfortunate soul basically made a school his bitch while being the nicest guy all in the process. For those who have any thoughts on this series in question or the video, be sure to let me know yours down in the comment section below. Always remember to leave a like if you did enjoy, and be sure to subscribe if you have been new around here. But lastly, there's always my Patreon for those who want to go the extra mile and help support what I do around here even more, while receiving some pretty fun perks all in the process. But of course, that's always if you so wish. So until next time everyone, please take care, and have a good one.